Warning! This video may contain spoilers of Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X. If you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch this video. Viewer discretion is advised. Have fun! Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Matt, and in this video I wanted to show off some possible Easter eggs I found in Xenoblade Chronicles X. On a side note, not everything of the footage shown here is mine, so I will credit the users who I used the footage from in the video, as well as the users I got the Easter eggs from. So make sure to check them out. Okay, without any further explanation, let's begin. 1. The first thing you do in this game is creating a character. And next to all the facial features you can also choose from a variety of voices. And here's the interesting part. The voice actor for the classic male voice is Adam Howden, the same man who voiced Shulk in the original Xenoblade, while the classic female voice belongs to Karina Reeves, the voice actress for Fiora.
Cheers! Sorry, but it was you or us. Right, let's do this! Huh? We can't lose! Everyone, let's go! Looks like we don't have a choice! The enemy's weak! But don't drop your guard!
Yay! We win! Shall we then? I've lost my balance. Yay! We win!
How's that? That's gotta hurt. Fabulous! You did it! I want to try too.
2. When you first arrive in NLA, you'll be introduced to a new character named Lindley Ku. Although she's just 13 years old, she's a mechanical mastermind and a member of the Blade organization. What's interesting about her though, is that her hairpins look exactly like the Monado, Shulk's weapon from the original Xenoblade. It was the first Easter egg ever found, by the way, thanks to the many footage we got before release. 3. You might know that your team members have an idle animation if they stand still long enough. However, one of the idle animations found in Xenoblade Chronicles X is the same your team members do in its predecessor. Four. At some point of the game, Elmer refers to Vantom as Squaretach. It's the same nickname Ryan gave his colonel in Colony 9.
Well, it's just a title. He can call himself Colonel Squaretash for all I care. If it gets the ganglion to listen, I'm all for it.
You will, Shulk. Anyway, we better get back to the colony. If I'm late for drills again, old Squaretash is gonna kill me.
Squaretash? Oh, the Defense Force Colonel. He's pretty scary.
5. In the Blade Barracks in the hologram room, you may find a holo figure called Assassin. It shows an enemy in a certain pose, which bears a strong resemblance to the official art of Ezio Auditor from Assassin's Creed 2. 6. In Noctilum, if you accept a mission from the Nopon god Nopopon, he sends you out to defeat the other incarnated gods, so that they will give their blessings to a stone Nopopon gave you beforehand. It's said that this stone contains secrets of the Nopon race's past, like from where the first Nopon came for example. But it turns out that this stone only contains 50 Nopon rules. Ancient rules written on stones is pretty familiar, don't you think? It comes pretty close to the 10 commandments God gave to Moses on Mount Sinai. Except that the Nopon got 50 ancient rules, not just 10. 2 of which would be everyone has to find Nopon cute, or every Nopon has to watch out for their first fluffiness. Sadly, that's the only connection we got behind this thought, since we don't have to climb a mountain or something like that, like Moses, to receive the rules. 7. When you complete the mission Nopopon gave you, you'll be rewarded with the Ghost Sword. It's a long sword you can actually use. It looks like a toy weapon, but there's something interesting about this sword. If you look closely at the part which connects the grip and the blade, you will see a big X on it. This X looks almost exactly like the scar Ricky from the original Xenoblade has on his belly. Coincidence? Maybe, but I highly doubt it. 8. At the end of the game, Tatsu talks about the so-called Hom-Hom for a moment. Some may think it's just a little Easter egg, but with the short story released, and upon other hints, it is thought that Xenoblade X has a connection to its predecessor on the Wii. So what does Tatsu mean now? In Xenoblade Chronicles, the Nopon call the Homs, the human-like race from the same game, Hom-Hom. And with Tatsu saying this line, there somehow must exist a connection between those two games. But sadly, we still don't know how exactly they're connected story-wise. There are some Easter eggs here that continue supporting this theory. You will make them up by yourself if you hear them. Well, if you're familiar with the original game, that is. 9. After completing a questline of 2 certain Nopon, you will find the Sword of Legendariness. This sword is a Nopon version of the Monado. 10. At some point of the game, Tatsu says something like, "Bigger than legendary Frontier Village." The Frontier Village is home to the Nopon in Xenoblade Chronicles. Phew, there are actually a lot of Easter eggs referring to the original Xenoblade. Never realized how many there are. And there's another one following. 11. Even some items bear a connection to Xenoblade Chronicles. The primitive colossal statue shows two titans locked in a timeless battle. It's a clear reference to the story of Xenoblade Chronicles, where two titans fight until they hit each other. The second item would be the Lost Memory Synthesizer, which looks close to the gem crafting machine in Colony 9, which is used to, well, craft gems.
To you! To me! Woo! Alrighty! To me! Woo! Alrighty! There we go! Alright!
12. From Xenosaga, the Soha was a link between the imaginary number domain and the real number domain. In the imaginary number domain, all consciousness and memories of humans and sentient beings are stored, whereas the real number domain houses their physical existence. This stands in the almost same relationship like souls to Mimir sums and the database in the Lifehold core. Wow, that's pretty deep actually. 13. Like you already may have noticed, the Zoha in its design comes pretty close to those of the Lifehold units, which can be found all over Mira. 14. On Tatsu's backpack you can see two of the default weapons Riki used. 15. A light skull type is called Wells. It's thought that it refers to the enemy type Wells from the Xenogear games. What's interesting to know is that Wells is also the German name for a catfish. There seems to be a certain interest in German texts and names, as heard in some of the soundtrack songs like Wir Fliegen, and as seen in some of the Tyrants' names like Dieter. But I can't make out why the developers would name a skull in this kind of context. So I will just stick to the first thought. 16. Well, it's meme time, guys. If the male character with his classic voice hits 3000 TP, ready to get into his overdrive state, you will hear him shout,
Oh yeah! I'm really feeling it! Fighting blades!
17. Next to the assassin Easter egg, this one's my favorite. In Professor B's questline, you will see his Mira mobile multiple times. With this vehicle, he can travel through time. It's pretty similar of how the DeLorean from Back to the Future works.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
18. Alright, with these ones we will dive a little bit into demon summoning. In the game you will meet up with Gürtia, the ganglion end boss from chapter 4. Her name actually got some deep meanings. I found some possible meanings behind her name on Wikipedia, but I believe this one is the most likely to get inspiration from, the Ars Gürtia, or just the Gürtia, whichever you wanna call it. The Gürtia contains explanations of how to summon each one of the total of 72 demons. The Ars Gürtia differs from other Gürtinian texts since the summoned demons are forced to listen to their masters instead of them hoping for their blessings. It so happens that King Solomon first summoned those demons and forced them to do his work. And there's one demon with the name Amdusias. Quite familiar, isn't it? Amdusias is the name of a heavy type skull. What supports this thought is that the level 50 Amdusias' head is somewhat shaped like a demon's one. But there's another skull with a religious/demonic background. Another heavy type skull is named Mastema. Mastema is the name of a fallen angel who persecutes evil in Jewish mythology. He has the task to carry out punishments for God, tempt humans and test their faith. There's one other skull with this kind of background I want to talk about. You might have already guessed it, the skull I'm talking about is the Ares. If you played the game through, you should be familiar with the fact that the Ares 90 and the Ares 70 are the strongest skulls from scratch. And the Ares as a name is most likely inspired by another god. Ares is the name of a god in Greek mythology. He's the god of war and massacre. He's also one of the Olympian gods. Makes sense given to the era's 90s dark looking and devastating appearance. 19. There are several attacks from Xenoblade Chronicles that got carried over. They're either equal in name or effect. Let me show it to you guys.
Good job, all. Cool. Let's keep this up. This is it. Last act. All right, we came through. Yeah, we got 'em good. Piece of cake. Yeah, we got 'em good. Piece of cake. Shadow up. Good job, all. Cool. Let's keep this up.
Watch down! Spotted something. What's happened with the gunfire?
Wow, down! Not even a challenge.
Let us hurry onwards.
20. Now I wanted to talk about some interesting names from the Tyrants. I couldn't find any historical or mythological similarities, so these are rather the things I associated with the names when I first heard them. These are not Easter eggs as such, but I hope you'll stay nonetheless. First we have Dieter the Epicure and Eckart the Indestructible. Especially some of the German viewers may recognize those names instantly. I picked those typical German names because they both appear in the Werner comics. Dieter there is the leader of a biker gang, while Eckart is Master Rurich's apprentice on his way to become a craftsman. Next we have Falcon the Vibrant. This tyrant is named after a sword type called the Falcon. Joker, the Unknowable, is most likely named after the all-time enemy of Batman, Joker. What could support this is the fact that Joker hides his face under his makeup the entire time. That may be the reason why the tyrant is called the Unknowable. Then there's Luciel, the Eternal. Why give a dinosaur such a name? I can't explain it, but Luciel might be a reference to the fallen angel Lucifer, or better known as Satan. The Eternal might refer to the devil being an eternal religious being. The next one on my list is Schneider, the Cliff Percher. Schneider can be translated from German into the English language as cutter, which could refer to the tyrant's race being a forfax having claws. There are also Telethias in this game. Next to the online nemesis Telethia, there's the strongest tyrant in the game, Telethia the Endbringer. Telethias already existed in the original Xenoblade as ancient beasts, the purpose being the destruction of all life on Bionis. The last one I want to name is in my opinion the most interesting one, Thaddeus the Ultramafic. Thaddeus is the name of Squidward in the German translation of the SpongeBob cartoon. Alright guys, these are all the Easter eggs I could find so far. Thanks for watching. But before I go, I wanted to guide you to a certain video I found recently. I got most of the here shown Easter eggs from its comment section. So if you're watching this, thanks for the information guys, even though most of you rather help passively. Anyway, I hope you liked the video and leave your impressions in the comment section below. Maybe you found some Easter eggs I didn't list. I would appreciate it if you would comment them under this video. Alright fellow Blade members, I hope to see you all soon in the future. Bye!